How I lied to myself to make 5 figures per month at 19. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover beliefs, timing, mindset, shiny object syndrome, and much more. Now, you're probably wondering, who is this guy and why is this video actually going to be valuable? So my name's Noah. I'm a 19-year-old entrepreneur. 11 months ago, I was a broke college student and I actually dropped out to pursue a business full time, which right now I run a social media marketing agency. You can see this was last month, just a screenshot from my desktop. Low-key terrible quality, but I'm doing about 20 a month right now, the last 3 months or so. I hit my first 10K a month. Took me about 6 months to get there, but since then I've been consistently hitting bigger numbers every single month from there. Now you can see as well, you don't see like sports cars and stuff. I'm not even making like the super big bucks right now, 100K a month, stuff like that. But like you can see, I just enjoy work. I just enjoy having fun, traveling. This was downtown Nashville. I love getting in nature, chilling. This is a coffee shop, and then a cheeky little fit in there. I like my outfits, like my fashion, stuff like that. But yeah, like dude, just so you know, like I'm a normal guy. That's the reason I show you this. But I'm just gonna show you exactly how I changed my life within 11 months, so you can do the same and do it much quicker and skip all of the limiting beliefs and just master your mindset on exactly how to actually get there so you can do it quicker than I did. So the goal of this video is basically to change your entire paradigm. Now, first off, what actually is a paradigm? Now, a paradigm is the way in which you see the world. Now, this isn't some dictionary definition. This is Noah's definition. So basically, two people can be in the exact same position. They can be the exact same age, gender, demographic, all that. But they both see the world in a completely different way that is completely based on their paradigm or their perspective of the world. So two people in the exact same spots, and they're going to end up in completely different places. And that's why you can see, as an example, like people in orphanages. Some orphans end up going and joining like gangs and stuff because they don't feel like they have a home, they want a place to belong. And then others go on to build billion-dollar companies, as an example. They both have the same upbringing, but they have a different paradigm, a different belief system on how they perceive the world. And it completely will change the course of your life. An example is like you get in a car crash. Obviously, knock on wood. I wouldn't wish this upon anybody out there. But paradigm one is my life is just going to pieces. I hate the universe for making this happen. Asking, okay, why me? Paradigm two is, okay, this happened for a reason. I know this is tough, but maybe this happened for a reason. Maybe I was actually going to get into a worse car crash a couple minutes later, and this crash actually saved my life. Obviously, if you just have a couple minor injuries and stuff. But you can see the exact same thing can happen to two different people, and the way in which you perceive it on if it's good or bad, which I'm going to go through, is going to completely change just how you see the world. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with making money online? I'm going to get to that. I'm going to go through all of this. Now, stop playing the victim. Well, the first thing is just stop playing the victim and stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're not going to get anywhere feeling sorry for yourself, acting like the world's against you. I used to have that same mindset, and that's why I stayed broke and couldn't scale a business, couldn't start anything, couldn't stay consistent with anything, because I always felt like I had a disadvantage. Now, the paradigm shift that altered the way I think was that everything happens for a reason. And that genuinely, like that simple thing, but everything happens for a reason. Now, personally, I believe in God. I do have faith as well. I'm religious. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but that's along those lines. But just whatever you believe in, this paradigm shift right here helped me to basically hit the next level, and most importantly, just level up my life. Now, there's no such thing as good or bad. There just is. Like, stuff just happened. It's not good, it's not bad. How do you define good or bad? Because again, the same situation can happen in two separate people, and one of them is gonna have a completely different outlook on it. So there's nothing that's good or bad. Stuff just is. It just happens. When you first take on this paradigm, you feel, number one, 100 times less stressed and more free, because you realize everything in this world is completely out of your control. Stop trying to play God. Stop trying to play and be the puppet master when you're not in control of any of it. The world is going to come to you as God's designed it for, and God's designed your plan. You can't do anything to change what's going to happen. You can only change how you react to what's happening. And that's the paradigm as well, and how you react. So stop worrying. You stop worrying about the future, and you stop being anxious when you take on this paradigm, because there's nothing for you to be anxious about or worry about when you have literally no control over it, and you forfeit your control. all you have to do is just react. It depends how you react to it. You're not in control of whether it happens or not. It just happens. And this is the fundamental mindset you need before you ever start a business. So now I'm going to get into the more tactical stuff as it relates to business. But without this mindset, like none of this else matters. This is like the foundation of the pyramid. It's just how you perceive just the world in general. Now, about 6 months ago, I hit my biggest month with my business at the time, which was about $8,000. And literally 30 days later, I went right back down to around 2 or 3K a month. Now, most people after that, they would sulk, they would go crazy, like, why is this happening to me? I did all this work, now I'm going back down. But with this new paradigm where you realize that everything happens for a reason, I actually invited it to happen, and I was actually excited when it happens. Maybe not as much at the time as I am now, but I still had the mindset on, okay, there's something to learn from this, something came from this. There's a reason this happened. What can I take away from it to propel me in the future? And literally the next month, after not letting it affect me and I was learning from it, the next month I hit my first ever 10K month. From there, I've gone up every single month since then. But what a lot of people do is they would just stop there. They would get in that crash and they would let it snowball and keep affecting them. Whereas I invited it to happen, and most importantly, you realize, okay, you're thankful for the obstacles because you realize you're going to be stronger on the other end of them. Because that resilience after these challenges is like the most important thing. Now, stop shying away from the obstacles. Actually start inviting them. And that's like the biggest mindset shift there. That's the first thing that really helped me out a ton. And now you see the world with this new paradigm where everything happens for a reason, and you're actually inviting challenges to come to you because you need to be challenged, right? You're capable of being the person who can change your bloodline when you have this mindset, but it all starts with this. So mindset number one, now actually get into the business side of stuff. Number one, you're a speck of dust. Why would you care what other people think of you? I actually put off making content for months, if not years. I always wanted to do YouTube, do content when I was a kid because of how I thought others would think of me. And looking back, this has for sure slowed down my growth by at least 10, probably 100 times by not starting, just because of the fear of what other people would think of me. The second I started to not care and to put myself first, and this isn't in some selfish or egotistical way, but it's like everyone has their own needs, and you at the end of the day need to look out for yourself, obviously your loved ones as well, but stop thinking about what other people think of you. And I had a huge unlock once I did this. People are genuinely so wrapped up in how others perceive them. They live life putting on a mask just to appeal to other people, playing like an actor, playing like actors in like a theater or like a play. Every person does this. And here's the thing though, everyone's wearing that mask. That's why authenticity is one of the scarcest resources in today's society. It's not something so many people talk about, but even like with my channel, I'm just like super authentic, super transparent, super upfront, just because that's the way I am. But people reach out to me, they're like, hey, I don't see anyone else doing the types of videos you do. And it kind of puts it into perspective on, I'm just like being me. But that's something that's challenging for a lot of people. But just know it took me a while to get here, to just be authentic and put everything out there. And that's why it is such a rarity in today's day and age. So stop caring what other people think and take control of your life. Again, you're in control of your own destiny. Obviously, God has a plan for you, but it's how you want to go and go on the journey again, and then going about how you react to everything. And here's a perspective that really helped me. So ask yourself this: 12 months down the line, if I'm at 10K a month, would I be afraid to make content, to cold call, insert your limiting belief, right? So basically you're asking yourself, a year down the line, when I'm at my goal, whatever, making 100K a month, and right now I'm scared to cold call, I'm scared to go reach out to people. When I'm making 100K a month, am I going to be scared to do that? No, not at all. And the answer is no 99% of the time. So then what are you waiting for? Go do it. You can't keep doing things the same way you've been doing them, because then you're going to be in the same place you've been. You got to think like your future self, like your successful self. What would your future self do? And the answer is always taking action. So when you think about the world with this mindset on what will my future self do, you're always going to find out, you're always going to have the idea on what's best and what's going to put you in the best position to reach your goals when you think from this mindset of your future self. Now, mindset shift number 2 is there's no perfect time to start. A lot of people are always waiting to start businesses, and I did as well. I waited months before I started my first business. I was just watching YouTube and kind of procrastinating, waiting for that perfect time. Maybe when there's a blue moon one night, then I'd be like, okay, that's a good time to start. But there really is no perfect time to start. You don't know how many days you have left on this planet. That's something only God is in control of. We got pretty deep there pretty quick. But if from this perspective, if you knew you had 2 years left to live, what would you do? And I don't say like 2 months, because then obviously you would go and just you wouldn't be working or anything. Let's say if you had 2 to 3 years left to live, what would you do? You want to go and build that dream life. You would stop overthinking and you'd actually take action, because you know time is the scarcest resource we have on this planet. And every second, every minute, every day, every month you let go by without taking action, you're falling behind and you're closer to the end. It's kind of getting deep and dark, but it's so true. Time is our most valuable asset. We're only on this time for a specific amount of time, but the scary thing is we don't know when that could be up. Right? It could be 3 years down the line. It could be 3 days. Obviously, you don't want to think that way. You don't want to live life being afraid, but it should push you. It should give you that urgency on just go take action. You don't know how much time you have left. And at the end of the day, there is no perfect time, but the closest time to perfect, you're never going to find the perfect time, but the closest time you can get to perfect is today. It was actually yesterday. The saying is, the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. So put everything aside, put what people think about you aside, and just go take action, start, because you don't know how much time you have. Stop delaying the inevitable and start. Imperfect action. I love this quote. I think this was Hermosi I heard it from. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction 100 times out of 100. And this is one of the best pieces of advice or sayings I can give to beginners is, and I know I did this as well, I try to be perfect in the beginning. When I was starting my marketing agency, I was watching hours of YouTube videos, like free courses, watching like how to run Facebook ads and stuff like this. And I was trying to be perfect, but I wasn't taking any action. So I was practicing this exactly, perfect inaction. And once I realized, okay, I just got to go pick up the phone and start calling people. I sucked at cold calling like anyone would, because I never did it before. But imperfect action beats perfect inaction 100 times out of 100. If you take one thing away from this video, this would be the main thing. So you're not waiting for that perfect time to start. Imperfect action beats perfect action every day of the week. And that right there is the summary of this video right here. Now, mindset shift number 3. And by the way, if you have any questions on any of this, just DM me on Instagram at noah.helped, or it's in the description below. Now, mindset shift number 3 is, even if I make $0 with this, I still win. Now, that might seem kind of counterintuitive, but let me explain. So when I started my social media marketing agency, I dropped out of school, and I basically was under, and this was what was in my head internally, hey, if I don't make $1 with this, I don't care. I'm going to commit a year to it no matter what, because at the absolute minimum, I'm going to put in the work every single day, and I'm going to learn valuable skills, sales, marketing, etc., etc. And I didn't care. I was detached from the money. Obviously, I had goals of making money, but I basically fully detached myself from the outcome of the money. But my outcome was putting in the work and getting the skills. So I was under the mindset that, hey, I can't lose. As long as I put in the work, I literally can't lose. The second you start idolizing the money, you lose your love for the game. Love for the game is the ultimate cheat code. You think Kobe Bryant trained 365 days a year to get paid more? Absolutely not. Up until a certain point, money doesn't do anything. Idolizing money only gets you so far. That's why you see a lot of these people who idolize money and hitting these huge months with their business, hit it, and then they feel unfulfilled, or they go bankrupt, or they start doing drugs and stuff because they realize it didn't fill the void inside of them. His fulfillment came from the journey of becoming the best version of himself possible. People who find purpose and fulfillment from the journey, not the destination, are going to climb hundreds of levels past those people. I started my marketing agency again with this mindset. I don't care if I make $1. I'm going to put in the work day in, day out for 12 months. And no matter what, I was chasing the skills, not the cash, because what I realized is you're only paid to the level of skills you have. That's why people who dance on TikTok, you get a lot of views, but they don't make money. But the high ticket skills you need to understand are sales, marketing, communication, and all of those you get from a marketing agency, which is the reason for me why I started it. But I realized that when the skills come, the money follows. You're only worth as much as your skills. However harsh that may sound, it's so true. You're not going to get paid more than you're worth in terms of your skills. They need to be high ticket skills as well, right? If you have skills of making balloon animals, it's not a high paying skill. It's pretty sick. I wish I could do that. But again, you need to prioritize and you need to think about what are these skills that can level me up the most. And mindset shift number 4 is you already found the perfect business model. Now, to some of you, this might be like, what are you talking about? Well, no matter what you see online, there's not one perfect business model. They all have their pros and cons. Now, pick the one that suits your desired skill set and go all in. And notice how right there I said desired skill set. Everyone starts from zero. Some people may have prior experience like running ads, making content and stuff, but choose the model that you want to be doing and excelling in 12 months down the line. So again, thinking in the future, not just today or in the present. Think about in the future. 12 months on the line, if you could have skills, what would you want those skills to be? Maybe it is running ads for clothing brands. Maybe it's being a sales guy or being a high ticket closer. Maybe it's having marketing and sales. And think about 12 months on the line, what skills do you want to have? And when you decide that, you just go all in on that business model. For me, I've done dropshipping, Amazon FBA, print on demand, now SMA, you name it. I've literally tried them all, seen every single thing out there. But I decided to go all in on SMA or social media marketing agency because that's where you'll get the most well-rounded and high income skills, which is sales and marketing. And then I'll put communication in there as well. But that's why I chose it. But again, you're only paid to the level of skills you have. So because again, cash follows skills. And this is kind of a saying that I don't know if anyone else made this up, but I just randomly made it up and it is so true, but cash follows skills. You get the skills and the cash is going to follow. So stop chasing that shiny new business model and just commit yourself to one. Go with it for 12 months and think about if I put myself in the position every day to put in the work, 12 months on the line, think about how far ahead you're going to be, even if you don't make $1. But again, you build the skills up and the money's going to follow. That's just the way it goes. Mindset shift. Now the fifth mindset shift is your age, your situation, whatever you're in is an advantage. And that's what you need to be telling yourself. We're all dealt with our own hand of cards. You can either make the most of your hand or you can go and complain about it like most people do. Age, genetics, demographic, ethnicity, etc. That's just who you are. You can't do anything about that. Now, instead of feeling limited by it, use it to your advantage. I was terrified of the thought of cold calling business owners as a teenager, especially when I have no prior results, case studies. I couldn't talk to people. I was super, super introverted. I could either not take action or just make the most of it. Not take action, which is what most people do, or I could end up actually just making the most of my situation. So I started doing so many calls, it made it unrealistic for me not to book appointments with these business owners. And that's the mindset you need. I did so many calls, it made it unrealistic for me not to get the result that I desired. If you feel like you have a disadvantage, so what? Your advantage is that you're much more willing to put in the work to actually make it work, because you know you can only do so much with what you're dealt. But what everyone has the same of is time. We all have the same amount of time in the day. So if you just put 10 times in the effort as someone else who has the talent, again, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And it's so true, but use your specific case to your advantage and make the most of it. And you're actually closer to achieving your dream life than you think. And this is basically the point of this video, to kind of inspire you to grow your business, grow your life, excel, and it's a pretty overall just mindset shift for you that hopefully was super helpful. Now, there is one way to speed it up. It's also working with mentors. This is something that I have done religiously over the past year or so. I would highly suggest for you to invest in yourself and in your skill set in the form of someone who's already been there and done that before. Like Alex Hormozi was able to go from broke to rich multiple times just because he invested in himself and he built up his skill set. And again, your skill set is your most important asset. I'm not saying you have to go work with me, work with anyone else in specific, but just know that you are as valuable as your skill set. So keep investing in yourself, keep grinding. If you have any questions on any of this, DM me on Instagram at noah.helped, or it's in the description below. I always love connecting with you guys. If you want to apply to work with me as well, one-on-one, just DM me as well, and we can talk about that as well. But anyways, I appreciate you watching this video. It was honestly fun making this and talking about this stuff because it is so important. But I want to hear from you guys what you guys think. I always love connecting with you guys, but I'm looking forward to talk with you soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.